Tens of thousands of dollars were spent on, on lavish banquets and jewelry for employees by the Sewage and Water Board that's now strapped for cash. That's one of the findings of a new report released today by the legislative auditor.
The report also found the agency has few policies in place to ensure that contract costs don't balloon. Investigative reporter Katie Moore has the details in our ongoing Down the Drain coverage.
After the August 5th floods in 2017, residents wanted answers about the Sewerage and Water Board, and officials looked to the Louisiana legislative auditor to get them. Auditors started looking at the drainage system and the agency's financial stability, but State Representatives Stephanie Hilferty and Pat Connick wanted more from the audit, calling for a deeper look at how the agency issues and manages its contracts.
This organization has no one centralized depository for the contracts, and that needs to change.
This audit released on Monday found the Sewerage and Water Board has no contract management system and very few controls to make sure that costs in those contracts don't balloon. It also found possible violations of state bid law in how the contracts were advertised and issued.
While auditors indicated they had a difficult time getting the 12 contracts they wanted to study for their reports, at least one of the ones they did receive raised some red flags. Until 2016, the agency would host an employee awards banquet at a local hotel. Public Facebook photos show in 2014 it took place at the Hilton Riverside. The audit says the board spent $37,000 on this banquet, with more money spent on jewelry for employees. In 3 years' time, the audit says the board spent more than $73,000 on 24-karat gold-plated watches like this one, solid gold rings, pendants, and tie pins for employees. The Louisiana Constitution prohibits the donation of public funds, and according to the audit, Attorney General opinions have said, quote, service awards purchased with public funds should be reasonably moderate in price. In his response to the audit, Sewerage and Water Board Executive Director Ghassan Corban said the agency is no longer hosting the award banquets.
It raises more questions than answers, and that's the thing the public needs to know.
Auditors also reviewed the problems with the drainage system and point the finger at many of those exposed in our Down the Drain investigation last year. Katie Moore, Eyewitness News.
Well, the Sewerage and Water Board released a statement about the audit this afternoon, saying the agency agreed with many of the findings and changes have already been made. The board statement reads, in quote, this utility will continue to improve. We're implementing strategies to create better oversight and tracking of contracts. We are constantly reevaluating all policies and procedures to find ways to better serve the public. Our Down the Drain team has brought you a number of important stories since the widespread flooding in August of 2017. You can see those reports on our website and our free smartphone app.